All right, this is section 4-4, simplifying algebraic expressions. Once again, this is another section that I think you'll find pretty much easy, but just got to learn a couple of the ending parts, so make sure you pay attention towards the end of the video. We'll start with example number 1. Example 1 wants simplest form, 9/12. Obviously, guys, I know that we know how to do this. But to simplify, 3 is the number that goes into both of those. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that is simplest form. Let's continue with example number 2. And example number 2 wants the simplest form of 12/48. Now with this one, we have multiple numbers that can go into it. So, if you find the biggest number, that would be simplest. 12 does go into both numbers, so divide both of them by 12. 12 divided by 12 is 1, and 48 divided by 12 is 4. So 1/4 would be an answer, but they also want you to recognize that you could do this, and if you don't find the biggest number, you find other numbers, that's fine too. The smallest number that will simplify this is 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 48 divided by 2 is 24. And you could do that again. What numbers go into 6 and 24? You could either use 2 or 3. Let's use 3 just to mix it up. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 24 divided by 3 is 8. And then you can do it again. The number that goes into both of those is 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So obviously, just two different ways of getting the same answer. It does sometimes make it simpler if you find the biggest. But sometimes that makes it harder because you have to do a division problem on the side. So that's example 1 and 2. And let's move to example 3. Example 3 here has, this is where the real algebra comes in. So make sure you're paying attention on these problems. Actually, you know what? That should be example 4. We're going to skip example 3. That one is pretty much asking for something pretty similar to what the other ones are asking for. And then example 4 says simplify each fraction. If the fraction is already in simplest form, write simplified. So in example 4a, it says 21x squared y over 35xy. Now we're simplifying, so I know you'll see a shortcut eventually, but I'm going to show you the long way to do it, and then you'll see the shortcut, I think, after you see how it actually gets condensed. But basically what you're doing is you're writing out your factors, prime factorization. So of 21, you have a prime factorization of 3 times 7, and then with the letters, it's times x times x times y. And that's all over 35. Its prime factorization is 5 times 7, and then times x times y. So if you look at this as a fraction, you have certain things that are simplified. They both have a 7, so notice I crossed off the 7s. They both have an x, so I'm crossing out the x, and x over x is the same as the number 1. And then they both have a y, so a y over y makes the same number 1 also. So you cross things out, that's basically all you're doing. That's the same as simplifying, same as on the previous page. And what's left is 3 and x and a 5 on the bottom. So our final answer is 3x over 5. Done. And obviously you might notice the 21 you could divide by 7, and 35 you could divide by 7, and that would give you the 3 and the 5. But then you still have to simplify the 2 x's that are on top and the 1 x on the bottom, and then the y's on top and bottom. Next example, this is example B, has a, b, c to the 3rd power over a squared b. So I think it's easiest just to write it all out. You have a, B, C, C, C over A, B. So what gets crossed off? There's an A on top and bottom, there is a B on top and bottom, and everything else is has nothing to simplify with. So since you have C, C, C on top and just an A on the bottom, this would be C to the third power over A. And that's your final answer. C to the third over A. All right, that's all. Good luck.